This week we're going to my favorite place in the world to hunt. It's got a population of about 935, which is roughly 4,000 people shy of the population of Mayberry. Its only claim to fame is Fork Union Military Academy, where I actually went for middle school and high school. It's my hometown of Fork Union, Virginia. What's even more exciting is half of this show is going to be home movies and self-film stuff of me hunting in Virginia, so if nothing else, you'll have something to laugh at. Although, I have to say, this show's pretty action-packed. There's a 150-inch deer that we're hunting, and we have a great encounter with a 300-pound black bear, and we even do a little deer drive.
I love deer hunting.
This show's got a little bit of everything. I tell y'all what, I'm as excited about this show as Nancy Pelosi is to finish a sentence without her teeth falling out. It's gonna be good.
Well, I'm mean as gravel, I'm poor as dirt, and I like things better the way they were. Well, I'm strong in the head, but I get things done. I spend too much money to have a little fun. Come on. Can you love me like I am? Can you love me, baby, like I am? Yeah.
You know, I get asked all the time, where is my favorite place to hunt? Well, this week on the show, we're going to my favorite place to hunt. We're heading back to my hometown of Fork Union, Virginia. When I say it's my favorite place to hunt, I really mean that. I would rather hunt in my hometown with my family than anywhere else in the country, regardless of the quality of hunting or the big bucks or elk or anything I can kill. I'd much rather be at home on my farm hunting my ground than anywhere. Unfortunately, over the years in the Red Arrow TV show, in order to kill enough stuff to make a TV show that's entertaining out of it, we had to travel so much that I rarely get to hunt in my home state of Virginia. I'm really excited about this show, mostly because I'm excited to see how our producers are going to make a show out of basically POV cams, trail cameras, and home movies, but it should be fun watching them try. Some of y'all already know this, but I had to take a year off the road in 2018. The reason being, I got diagnosed with Lyme's disease and had a lot of complications arise from it. One of the complications was I had reactivated mono, which obviously made me super tired. I was super run down. I gained a bunch of weight. My immune system was just completely destroyed and had some things happen that really scared me. I thought, honestly, for a while, I thought I was going to die. And it got to a point where doctors were telling me, look, you need a year off with total rest. So I ended up having to take a full hunting season off the road, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Honestly, I got time to get healthy. I got rid of the Lyme's disease. I got 100% healthy. I dropped almost 60 pounds from what I had gotten up to. I mean, I'm not sure if I would be considered fat, but all I know is when I looked at myself on video, I was like, wow, who's that fat guy hosting my show for me? It really put things in perspective for me, and it's been a battle and a struggle, but honestly, God has used this experience to teach me a whole lot of things about the direction of my life and what really mattered, and help me get back to my roots. And what really matters is God and my family.
What this?
It's a bow.
No, this bow. What this?
It's a Hoyt RX4. It'll shoot an arrow over 340 feet a second.
Kill mammoth?
I guess.
Look, Carol Baskins.
Hey, man. With Caldwell's new EMAX Shadows, you only hear what you want to hear.
Hey babe, don't forget tonight we have dinner with Liz and Shy, and then tomorrow we've got that, but I know you'd rather not do that, so I put 200 rounds of ammo in your truck for you and your friends to go have a good time at the range. Sunday night, your dad asked if you could do the go. You and your buddy should go to the range, then go camping like you wanted to. I went to the store today and bought all the bacon they had, and I'll be here cooking it in nothing but my apron.
Sounds great. Love you too, honey.
Buck Knives, choose your character. Boogalooian, the Fisherman, Paw Paw, Westy, the Redneck.
Hey, what are you doing, man? Social distancing. Social distancing? Yep, social distancing. I'm watching my deer's every move while keeping my distance using the Spartan GoCam and mobile app. Why? What are you doing? Just going on a toilet paper run.
As a lumberjack, I love three things. The feel of a good axe handle, of course my companion Sally, Easy Sally, and a crackling fire made out of the finest hardwood. More hot sticks, Sally. Sally! Dost thou sitteth on the cold damp ground like a peasant whilst pondering nature's many queries? What do you call me? Protect your royal backside with Thermoset. Thermoset. Sit like a king, hunt like a king.
Hey, for more Red Arrow content after the show, go to our YouTube page, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, as well as check out all our other social media to win cool prizes from Caldwell.
Red Arrow is brought to you by Hoyt. Get serious. Get Hoyt. Real Tree. Family, friends, and the outdoors. Antler King. Bigger bucks, healthier deer. Caldwell. Eliminate the variables that make you miss. ARE. Outfit for life. And Federal Premium Ammunition. Every shot counts.
I rarely get to put time in on one spot back home. I might get a couple days here. Maybe if I'm really lucky, I get a week, maybe the opening week of bow season, I'll spend it home. But I don't have the ability like I would if I worked at another job, if I just lived here and only hunted here, to chase a certain deer or to hunt a certain piece of ground. You know, going back to 2015, that was the year that I started to see my hard work on management pay off on my land. And I was using Antler King products. I had some food plots. I was clearing micro plots. I had a big food plot. I'd been doing supplemental feeding in the off season, and I was really starting to see some bigger deer. One of the deer in particular was a 2-year-old that had potential to be an absolute stud. Back in 2015, when I was hunting, I passed this deer 3 different times. One time he walked right under my tree stand. I had a brief encounter with him where I actually got him on video. He's a good deer. I mean, he's clearly a young deer, but all the potential in the world. Really nice 9-point. I was hoping that one of my kids would get a shot at this deer. One day Addison decided she was going to wait till the next day to hunt. I'm in the backyard looking out at my food plot, and sure enough, there he is, standing about 60 yards from our tree stand. I went out and got a spotting scope and filmed him best I could with my cell phone, and this is a good deer. Clearly a young deer, but what a great first buck for one of my kids. I really took it easy most of the summer. I didn't do a whole lot of anything. I mean, I laid around, I tried to eat right and take care of myself, get enough sleep, and I was slowly starting to feel better. The first cool day kind of hit, and I started thinking about deer season. And so I still was going to pace myself and take it easy, but I decided to go hang a few trail cameras just to get a little inventory of what was running around on the property. And on September 30th, I get this picture. When I put these Spartan cameras out and I get these pictures back, I was pumped, man. I was super excited on the few days I was going to hunt at what the potential could be for me killing a big buck. This deer is everything that you dream of if you're a whitetail hunter. He's got a great big old brow tine that curves in, big old heavy horn, long tine 9-pointer. Just a gorgeous deer. I was blown away that this deer was on my property. The more I looked at this deer though, the more he started to look familiar. And what I determined was he's the 9-point that I hunted over 3 years ago with my daughter Addison. So at this point I've just got trail cameras to look at, and I wasn't 100% sure, but everything on this deer's right side was identical to the deer from 2015's left side. And everything on his left side was identical to the deer from 2015's right side. It was just much, much bigger. So I'm thinking that there's a pretty good possibility that although the sides flip-flop, which is by the way possible when they get older, I think this is the same deer. So now I'm at home with nowhere else to hunt but here. So we're going to really see what Virginia actually has to offer.
After 20 years and only 50 billion taxpayer dollars, we finally came up with the first invisibility suit.
I could have saved y'all $49,999,999,800. See, this is me last hunting season.
Impossible.
What kind of ammo is that?
I shoot Fusion from Federal Premium Ammunition. From primer to projectile, virtually every component is optimized for use in modern sporting rifles and peak ballistic performance through short barrels.
Can I try some of that?
Whoa, and I hit the target this time.
Hey neighbor, what are you doing?
Just going to the bank.
Aren't you worried about all that money back there?
No, I'm putting it in the bed of my truck. Should be fine.
Oh yeah, should be fine. You wouldn't do that to your hard-earned money, so why do it to the stuff you spend your hard-earned money on? I protect my gear with ARE truck caps and accessories. ARE, outfit for life. Look at this fool. Are the arrows from Serious Archery the hardest hitting, most accurate arrows you can find? Is my cameraman a cross-eyed ginger Viking that still gets everything in focus despite all the laws of science and probability? You bet your sweet ass they are. All right, everybody knows what to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. With Wheeler's full line of tools for the modern sporting rifle, the options for your custom build are endless. But remember, just because you can build it doesn't always mean you should. Don't be this guy. Wheeler Engineering, build responsibly.
Closed captioning provided by the Brotherhood of the Bone Collector. Superior accuracy, unmatched reliability. Red Arrow weapons may be the greatest.
Whoa, take it easy on the oversell. We get it. They're awesome.
Sorry, I got excited. Order yours now at redarrowweapons.com.
Even though I hunted this deer at least 3 times a week, I would never see this joker in the daylight. I would always hunt and then get a trail camera picture of him later that night. Didn't matter where I went, somewhere on the farm, I would get a picture of this deer, but it was always late at night or super early in the morning before daylight. I woke up the morning of December 1st, 2 days before my birthday, and it just felt like a good day to go deer hunting. There was a front pushing through. I'm driving down my parents' driveway, which is right down the road from my little farm, and I'm halfway down the driveway thinking I'm gonna go like 3 miles back in their woods, like way back in there, and hunt a totally different spot just to try something new. Maybe he's on his feet and he's way back in there. And I just get this feeling like, go back to the field that you originally saw this deer in back in 2015. I just had a feeling that I needed to be in that stand. I needed to be back where I first spotted that deer. So I turned the truck around right there in the driveway and headed back to that stand. Now all I had with me, I had a little POV camera. It's not very high quality footage or anything like that, and my rifle. That's all I had. And I got out there at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I was running a little bit late, and I got out there about 4 o'clock. At about 4:30, it's starting to spit rain. It's misting out, and I look over in the far tree line, right where I got the first trail camera picture of this deer, and all I see is a giant rat coming at me. I turn the camera on the end of the gun and get my crosshairs fixed on his chest. He's walking right to me. Now this deer is 70 yards in closing, and when he gets into about 50 yards, the thing that I'm dealing with is I've got this cedar tree that I'm in, and if he gets below a certain point, I won't be able to get the angle to shoot him. So I frantically start trying to stop this deer, and I'm looking for that front-on chest shot. I'm up in the tree bleating like a calf stuck in a woven wire fence, and the deer finally hears me and stops. shoot and make a perfect shot. It crushes him right there. This deer immediately goes down. He starts to roll, and he's kind of starting to pick up momentum and make his way across the field, just rolling and trying to get up. But anytime a deer acts like he might get up and start running, you need to put a follow-up shot in him if you can. So I got no cameraman and no concern and no care about filming any of this. I got my cell phone in my pocket, so I film a little makeshift recovery once I see this deer. Well, it's December 1st, and I've just shot the biggest buck that I've ever killed in Virginia. This is a deer that I've got trail camera pictures of for the last 4 years. I found one of his sheds when he was a 2-year-old, and he threw that point on a different side, but this is definitely that deer. If you look right there, you can tell that's 100% the same deer. It only seemed right to pack this deer full of ice and hang him up for the night, and then get some good footage of him the next day. We came out here to take pictures of him today. Had him on ice last night. He's still packed full of ice right now, so we're gonna go cut him up here in a minute in the barn. But the field right behind me that you can kind of see through the timber is the field I killed him in. And it's actually the field that I first got a picture of him and a first glimpse of him when he was 2 years old. Just an amazing, I mean, just a beast. Giant buck for around here. All right, all you highfalutin hunters, put your big girl panties on because you're gonna get frustrated at this, but we're gonna make some deer drives. Well, I meet up with my good buddies Holland White and Ryan Brown. Now, me and these guys grew up acting crazy, raising hell, riding four-wheelers, hunting deer, and we have made it a tradition that on the last day of hunting season, we all get together and make deer drives. I've killed a deer on this same drive for the last 2 years, so I'm hoping to make it 3. There's already deer hopping around everywhere when we're walking in to get on the stand. I almost feel like we ought to get in here, but the minute we do, they'll cross the power line. Sure is. Holland starts making the drive, and I catch some movement coming through the woods. I killed that first one graveyard dead. I think I hit the second one. I love deer hunting. This first deer takes a load of double aughts to the dome piece and instantly takes a dirt nap. The second one, I don't know if you can slow the footage down and see exactly where I hit. I think I hit either in front of it or high. It looks like the pattern covers it up, but I must have just slightly shot in front of it or shot high, so he got lucky. Got a doe at least. Yes, sir. That's a good one too. The recovery is not your classic recovery because she flopped in the mud. We'll wash her off before we clean her, but not real pretty, but hey, you know, killing things sometimes ain't pretty. Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned. 63 times I stopped on the way to the stand to get gas. 42 of those times I had a chili dog with onions. Just basically lazy with my scent control. Do you have scent crusher products, my son? Of course I got one. Oh, then you're fine. What are you doing here? There's a cold front coming. Get out there. What's the last thing you want to see before you start blood trailing? This? Or this? Moon knot. Light them up. Man, these walk-on targets sure do stop arrows good. Makes you wonder what else they could stop in this world. Like homelessness, the coronavirus, or socialism. So listen, Kyle, we just need to give socialism a chance. At least they stop arrows real good.
Antler King makes the best food plot products. You get the highest protein and the most tonnage.
My trophy clover lasted 6 years.
That's because it's 100% perennial clover and chicory.
No mixed in annuals.
Like others.
Antler King seed needs less seed to soil contact.
And they grow deeper roots.
So it's more cold tolerant.
And needs less moisture.
Most important, deer love Antler King food plots.
Antler King.
Bigger bucks.
Healthier deer.
Red Arrow is brought to you by Spartan Camera, Polaris, Scent Crusher, Buck Knives, Bomar Archery, Spot Hog, SKB, Vortex Optics, Serious Archery, Spartan Mowers, Hardy Face Paint, and Hunter's Cloak.
Right here, Ryan.
All in all, it was a great last day. I think we killed 4 or 5 deer as a total and put a lot of meat in the freezer on the last day of hunting season that year. Now it's time to switch gears to 2019. Well, this year, God blessed me and my family to be able to buy 117 acres right down the road from where we live. I was really excited about this property, so I went to setting out trail cameras, cutting 4-wheeler trails. We were really excited to get to hunt this piece of property. What I like to do with any new property that I'm unfamiliar with is dump a big pile of corn or a big pile of antler king to try to see and take inventory on what kind of bucks I have on the property. I was kind of disappointed. I mean, there was no real big bucks and a bunch of scraggly little bucks, but then I got this picture. What I wasn't expecting was to get 3 more pictures of different bears on this property. One in particular was an absolute stud in my assessment. Typically in my area don't see a ton of bears, but this looked like a pretty big old bear. Hey, call me Davy Crockett because I'm a bear hunter now, son.
We have seen almost no deer back here at all, so you wouldn't think it'd be a very good place to hunt, but all up down this road is bear scat everywhere. There's 2 big piles. It's kind of old, but a bear scat right there right now. So hopefully they'll be out one out lumbering around today.
We get up in the double set of summits that I hung, and within 35-40 minutes, I hear something walking through the woods. You could tell this bear was uneasy. I don't know if it was smelling where we were or where I put the camera out or what. The bear comes in, it's 1/4 I come to full draw. I was at full draw for a long time on this bear. I didn't want to shoot that 1/4 shot and risk hitting that shoulder bone. Then the bear just turns around and walks right to the GoPro. The bear finally spits the GoPro out and starts to walk away. And the bear's getting out to 30, 35 yards, and he's in the last pocket of clearing that I could possibly shoot him in.
I had him way back. Sounded like he crashed. He definitely ran over something. He was leaving. He was smelling where we walked in the whole time. Yeah, I rushed my shot, but I might have got that femoral artery.
This would be the bow hunting equivalent of you're playing for the national championship and you take the snap from the center. You immediately throw the ball down and run over the sidelines and punch one of the cheerleaders for absolutely no reason. Basically how this hunt turned out, without the potential jail time for punching the cheerleader. And I got to tell you, I was relieved when we got down on the ground. There was blood everywhere. So we're looking at just tons of blood all over the woods, and we got a rainstorm, a big thunderstorm pushing in that night. We hadn't gotten more than probably 50 yards, and we heard some noise, some commotion, sound like something getting up, and we just completely backed out. There's no reason, even if the rainstorm's gonna wash the blood away. So we came back that next morning, and the bear didn't go another 100 yards. This sucker was traveling like he was going east, the last blood we found, but it came, the rain washed all our blood away. And I just said, there's no water in this creek right now, but I said, I'm just gonna walk the creek. Check it out, man. He's all stiff, but look at them teeth, man. Look at that. Virginia bear during archery season, man. I never would have thought. I've never hardly seen one during bow season on the hoof or on the paw there. It's just an emotional roller coaster. I hit him bad, and gosh, man, we'll never find him. To then we find all this blood, and we're all excited, like, okay, it's gonna be okay. Oh man, and then it pours down rain, we lose blood, we lose hope, and then just crazy, we just roll up on this big sucker. This was an incredible hunting season. I killed my biggest buck ever, and then I killed my first bear with a bow and arrow in Virginia. I had a great time hunting with my friends and family, but next week is going to be even better of a Virginia hunting show because I'm taking the kids out hunting.